That is good tea. Love it. Good afternoon. Happy afternoon. Happy Mental Health Monday. This is Dr. Virginia, and I'm really excited to see you. So, do you have a food addiction or some other type of addiction that perhaps you're not treating? Or if you're treating it, you're kind of tiptoeing around, not the light fantastic, but tiptoeing around whether or not you could be falling into danger, right? I.e., the relapse. Well, we're going to talk about relapse. We're also going to talk about uncommon addictions. And one of the most prevalent, but likely underreported addictions is food. We often have cravings for things that our body doesn't exactly process as well as other nutritious, whole food, plant-based items. So I want you to really sit and think about this as we're going to talk about this. So for those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Regina. And so what I'm going to do in the next 10-ish minutes is probably change your life and the lives of your family because I want you to start thinking about substance disorders and addiction in a different way. I promise you, well, can't really promise you. Let me take that back, but I'm pretty sure that after I explain what I'm about to explain, you're going to think about what you put in your mouth a little bit differently the next time you eat. Okay. Now, why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, I work with folks in a variety of substances, addiction, lifestyle changes that were not for their benefit. For the first 11 years of my career, I worked in correctional facilities, forensic facilities. And every time I was in a facility, I saw someone who unfortunately was there partially related to an addiction, a substance abuse issue, or some other issue related to that. They were stealing to afford their habit, or unfortunately, they were doing other things, negotiating sometimes their body, sometimes other things of value to support a habit that clearly was not supporting them. So, how do we get there? Well, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do a drawing, and you guys know I love my dry erase board, but I do not have a dry erase board at the present time. So, we're going to do it with this drawing, and let me bad. Okay. So I'm going to say that one more time. It doesn't matter to me if it's cocaine, marijuana, heroin, or food, gambling, sex. Those are the quote unquote vices that we don't think about as bad. Unfortunately, in our society, like we weigh morality as opposed to saying, look, all of these things can be detrimental to my health. It's, oh no, no, these are the really bad things. These are the hardcore drugs, right? But guess what? Sugar's a drug. Sugar's a drug, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you. I'm mourning with you because I really enjoy desserts. Um, I could have a day where I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or a four or five or even six-course meal, and it's just desserts. I actually could function like that for a day out of the year. One day, maybe my birthday, that's it. And I would probably be this close to heaven in that one day. But could I do that and sustain life long term? No, because my body is not going to be able to function off of all of those things. And we already know when we have sugar sweetened beverages that overtake our diet, increased sugar that overtakes our diet, guess what? Obviously, it can lead to diabetes, no brainer, but it can also increase your cholesterol. Did you know that? And it can also damage other parts of your body because those sugar crystals get in places they shouldn't, like your kidneys. It can cause brain fog. The brain starts out and needing glucose as an energy source. But guess what? If you're overindulging in it, too much of anything can be toxic. So I didn't realize this until very recently that just like there's a Narcotics Anonymous, just like there's a Gamblers Anonymous, there is a Food Addicts Anonymous. And if you are concerned about whether or not food may be an addiction for you, I would start looking at some of that literature. And I would strongly recommend that you consider seeing a provider. Now, I am a board certified psychiatrist, double board certified in psychiatry and lifestyle medicine. And I love being able to bridge the two like I'm doing right now. But I'm not your psychiatrist unless you're watching this video as I'm talking about substances and substance moderation. I'm not saying you have to cut out all the sugar, but if it's an addiction, yeah, you probably, it's best if you do because it's going to trigger overeating. But if you're saying, well, I want all things to be in moderation, please consider sugar is at the very top of the list because it sneaks in everything. They put sugar and salt. Why? Because it can be partially a preservative, but isn't salt a preservative already? Yeah, it is. So why do we need sugar and salt? I'm going to let you think about that. I'm not saying anything, but think about it. It's not for your good, though. Okay. The industry that does that, it's not for your individual good. Now, if you're part of the monopoly of sugar plantation, previous plantations with the sugar cane, it may be beneficial for you, but it's not beneficial for the rest of us. Okay. So be mindful of that. Be thinking about that. That's my 10 minutes, and I'm a little bit beyond time, but I did what I promised that I was going to do. Told you something that you probably didn't know, and something that it really should change the way that you think about that next bite of whatever it is that you're going to be taking. Okay. All right. I am Dr. Regina, and I hope that you have a very blessed day on purpose. Take care.